This is Bob Mason from FX Empire, and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple's XRP. Looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance, and pivot levels, and the Fibonacci's. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of March. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar and the hourly candlesticks, bullish start to the day. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid a fallback through the pivot at 48,614 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 50,070. We'll need some support from the broader market to break back through to 50,000 levels. Barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 5148 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Bitcoin test resistance at 52,000 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 51,604. A fallback through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 47,080 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should steer clear of the second major support level at 45,624 and the 23.6% fib at 45,501. Looking at the MACD, got a marked narrowing of the bearish histograms. Could see a possible bullish cross this morning, so keep an eye on that. On the EMA, the 50 has moved away marginally from the 100 and narrowed on the 200. Also a bullish signal early on. To key through the early part of the day, avoid a fallback through the pivot at 48,614 and break back through to 50,000 levels to take a run at 52,000 levels. Failures to do that and support levels will be in play. Moving across to Ethereum against US dollar, also bullish start to the morning. Going to need to Ethereum move through the pivot at 1517 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 1578 and the 23.6% fib at 1579. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break back through to 1570 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect the first major resistance level and the 23.6% fib together with yesterday's high at 1605.89 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ethereum test resistance at 1700 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1667. Headed to move through the pivot, we'll bring the first major support level at 1428 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should still well clear of sub 1400 levels. Second major support level sits at 1367. Looking at the MACD, slight narrowing of the bearish histograms, but nothing suggestive of a bullish cross as yet, so keep an eye on that. On the EMA, we've seen the 50 close onto the 100, which is a bearish signal, so also need to monitor that through the early part of the day. So key through the early morning, move through the pivot at 1517 and break back through to 1570 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failures to do that and support levels will be in play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, mixed start to the day. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid a fallback through the pivot at 179, take a run at the first major resistance level at 186. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break out from yesterday's high that was 185.48. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, got the 23.6% fib at 195 to cap any upside. The second major resistance level sits at 193. A fallback through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 172 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should stay clear of 160. Got the second major support level at 164 and the 38.2% fib at 163 to limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, we've got a marked narrowing of the bearish histogram, so we could see a possible bullish cross this morning. Keep an eye on that. On the EMA, the 50 has closed in on the 100 as well, also a bullish signal. So key through the early part of the day, avoid fallback through the pivot at 179 to then target yesterday's high at 185.48 to bring resistance levels into play. Failures to do that and support levels will be in play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, bearish start to the morning here. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP move through the pivot at 0.4381 to take a run at the first major resistance level, saying at 0.4539. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 0.45 levels. Barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 0.45574 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ripple's XRP test resistance at the 38.2% fib at 0.4632 and resistance at 0.47 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 0.4715. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 0.4204 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should stay close sub 0.40. Second major support level at 0.4046 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, we have a narrowing of the bearish histograms, but no signs of a bullish cross just yet, so keep an eye on that. On the EMA, the 50 is holding its ground against the 100 and the 200. No major narrowing to suggest a bullish morning ahead. So key through the early part of the day, move through the pivot at 0.4381 and back through to 0.45 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, and support levels will be in play.